Hello and happy Friday. It is time to tilt the camera up a little bit for the Sentinels of the Multiverse Steam Workshop dev stream. We have accumulated a number of these, so it's kind of fun to see the progression over time. I'm John from Handelabra, and we're going to be doing some development work. Say hello in the chat if you want to, and feel free to ask any questions, and we'll get going. So what are we doing today? Probably a few bug fix things, as well as I want to look at getting a variant together for Skyscraper. Jennifer's doing some visual polish on this screen, and that's looking pretty good. We'll probably wrap that stuff up. So yeah, let's take a look at that, because I think Jennifer just put some stuff in. So the mod download panel is now looking nicer. And in the mod list screen, or the workshop screen, I'll leave the upload panel. Yeah, it's still pretty basic, but doesn't look as derpy as I made it. So that is pretty good. So yeah, I think one thing I'll take a look at is this report. I don't know how easy it'll be to figure out, but some reports of people having their mods not update properly. So I just want to look into the code that's running and make sure that makes sense. So when we finish downloading mods, it calls this reload mods method, which calls reload mods on the mod manager. And what it does is it clears the definition cache. That's an engine call. Reset all mods in the engine as well. We'll have to look at what those do. And it clears our loaded mods and loaded atlases. It doesn't clear playtime tracking mods, but I think that this should never happen while we're tracking playtime, so that should be okay. We could do something about that if that is potentially an issue. Those are the things that and I think when we load a mod itself, the loading of it, of the DLL and everything, happens in the engine, right? Well, we call it load DLL. What does that do? Assembly load from. And then mod helper add assembly. So that calls mod helper. I wonder if there's something like assembly. Is there like an unload? I don't know that there is, right? Like unload assembly. Is that a thing? To unload assembly, must unload all of the application domains. So that's not a thing we can do. You could not unload the assembly. So I wonder if it's not able to reload it. Unload some assemblies, but not others. Consider creating a new application domain. I guess we could try doing creating an application domain for the mods. I'm guessing that's what's happening is assembly.load the rare scenarios. I'm wondering if this does this like care if it's already been loaded, and then like what's the behavior, right? Because we like succeed here, right? When we reload. And whatnot. Assembly is loaded with load from, and later assembly and load context template to load the same assembly by display name, but it's not by display name. It's loading it with load from again. Oh yeah, if an assembly with the same identity is already loaded, it returns the loaded assembly even if a different path is specified. So actually load from is not actually reloading it. So we think we have to look into this app domain thing. I wonder if that's going to work. Do we pass an app domain? No, I think we have to like use the app domain class. It has a load method. Does it have a load from? We could give it the bytes. Yeah, I think we need to according to this, if we want to do this without restarting the game, we need to make an application domain and have that load the DLL. So it'll be easier to try this with the engine code, I think. Let's just make sure we have the latest. And then we can try it in Unity if it works. Okay. Oh, this. So I think what was tricking me there is that assembly load from was just like, yep, it works fine, but it's actually not reloading the DLL. According to the documentation there. So it tricked me. So let's go into our unit test, mod test, and the setup here. And here we're going to try making an application domain. We'll create the domain and pass it in to this. Okay. So in order to load the assembly, it has a load method, but it won't take a file name. So we need to get the file. That's fine. We could load it by like, but these DLLs won't be like able to be referenced by strings like this, display names. So we need to and then we go domain.load assembly load. Oh, it's an event. Load bytes. And does that give us an assembly? Yeah, so let's try that. Call it mod domain, sure. I don't know if this might not work just in general, so we need to test it in here and see if this is working at all. Okay, seems fine. Like these tests actually like run, like use the mod and everything. I could make a test that like unloads the mod and reloads it or something, but I would have to make like, I guess, a second mod with the same namespace and then test that it like gets that instead or something. We can think about that. But based on this, this seems like pretty reasonable, like it's going to work in the UI. So let's go and try it out in the UI as well. So I think like we'll make this app domain like as soon as mod manager starts, basically. App domain. Yeah, and this can pass in the app domain. And then here, I guess, yeah, we only need to do it on standalone. Okay, and then we can like call app domain unload, domain unload, or I don't know how we unload it. Back to the docs. How to unload an application domain. App domain.unload method. Yes, we just like recreate it. We do. It's a static method like this. Yeah. Okay, and then we just recreate it again. Okay. So then this needs to be passed an app domain, and we get the bytes instead. And instead of that, we call domain.load bytes. Basically, that's all the change there. And yeah, we need to pass that in. So in reload mods, it needs to I guess unload the app domain. And start over. I don't know if there's a method to just like unload all the assemblies. Yeah. Okay. That seems to be the way. So let's see if we can give it a try. I think to reload mods, we need to like I guess I could add like a debug button for myself or something like that. Yeah, I don't actually have any mods going right now. Let's see about that. Oh. We didn't load properly. Failed to load assembly. There is one supposed to be there. Could not load file or assembly. Cannot find the file. But did I forget to? Save everything maybe? Unload DLL, we got an error, which is there. I mean, it read the file because it was able to see its name and all the stuff, or one of its dependencies. So yeah, so calling app domain load did not work here. So that was working in the unit test context, but not in this context. Unity app domain.load. App domain support is dead in Unity Engine. There's no way to unload a DLL from the process. not the same in Unity. How to extend mono. I think this is taking us back to this Stack Overflow post. Read this in more detail. C files and like rebuilding mono. Basically having to create your own mono DLL for this. Don't know if that's worthwhile. Yeah, they're getting the same error with app domain. I think it's because Unity doesn't implement that properly. Maybe the current app domain's private bin path used to find the assembly, but I'm giving it the bytes. Seems messy. That's something else. So yeah, maybe we're potentially stuck here. We found the proper way. Put the loading in the separate DLL. Interesting. So if we make the engine call appdomain.load, could do, that's fairly straightforward. We add that to like mod helper. So let's go take a look at that. yeah, basically this. I guess we return an assembly. And we have an app domain. What was the call to create one? App domain.create domain. Guess we do this. Basically that. And maybe we move like, you know, file.exists or whatever. And so instead of this, we do that. And we don't need to pass in a domain here. We don't need to worry about it. That all seems happy, because as far as the context here, it's totally the same. Let's update the DLL for the UI and see if we can call that. And we'll have to add a method to delete the domain as well, but see if the loading first works first initially. Okay, and so here, yeah, basically this. Mod helper.load DLL. And stop this from creating a domain. We'll just come into this first for now. Just see if this works, and if so, we can clean it up. And if not, it's a dead end. Yeah, we get the same exception. but now inside mod helper, so it doesn't make any difference. I don't know why this person was lying to me. That's not what we want. Yeah. Required to assign app domain setup dot application base or dynamic base. Okay. Clues. So let's try keeping this in the UI then instead. And grab this stuff. One, two, three. Sentinels. So instead of the simple constructor, we'll pass in all this stuff. Whoops. Still the same error. Pretty sure I saved this. Because it is going, it's not calling mod helper anymore. Yeah. Yeah, this is just trying to set the same code base. But we're still getting file not found. I think it's because it's trying to like take those bytes and trying to load it by string, but that's not a thing. Wonder if we can tell the system where to find that DLL. Because basically it's like trying to do it by that string. And can we tell it that it should look for that in a different place? Like app domain dot load file not found exception. Yeah, it could be because there's a dependency to the other DLLs. Do callback. Is that a thing we can call? Okay. That does get us out of our... Basically, we do like this and like... Let's just see if that like works. It won't like... succeed because it busts out, but at least we can see if it loads the DLL. Type is not marked as serializable. Well, that's different. What? Oh, right. I guess we just call like assembly. Like that. If we're in this context, we can just do that. Okay. Yeah, same thing. This goes to line 139 is where that exception came from. Calling the do callback. Do not like that. Okay. What about this business? Seems like a lot. I don't even know what one I would pick here, right? Like, see if there's anything more down this road. Yeah, I'm wondering if we try to tell it to load it from the file instead of like loading the bytes. Yeah, exactly. The only way it can give me this file in that section is by actually loading it, the one that he can't find. The main app domain can't find it. That's what's going on. Yeah, I think there's some extra stuff we need to do inside mods for this. That would be a change that I don't think we want. So I guess the easiest thing to do is just say you have to restart the game. if the DLL's changed, it's not ideal for multiplayer, but and it's only when there's an update, I think, not when there's a new DLL. And Steam has a method to restart the game, I think. Steam Manager. I guess restart app if necessary. Is there restart app even if it's not necessary? If Steam is not running or the game is not running through Steam. Does that come from... I would like to be able to just tell restart. And have Steam restart it. Yeah, I don't know that we get to do that. Unity restart game. Can we do that? I don't think you can do that. I think it's just like relaunch. You can call it like on Windows. Yeah, it's not great. So I think it's basically just going to be like if the DLL changed, then you need to restart. It's annoying, but I think we're just limited by what's gonna be able to work here, right? So, right. So basically, I'm just gonna discard all the changes I made already because, yeah, I'll just make a note to myself here. Looked into using app domain to be able to properly unload assemblies. Doesn't work. Check to see if restart is required and get the player to do so in that case. I think that's not, unheard of to require a relaunch when a mod changes, or when it shouldn't be when installing a new mod, I think, but yeah, this is the engine code. We didn't need to change that, and the UI code is as well. Don't save any of these changes because I don't think we want them. They all have to do with, things we don't want. So what we want to do is require a restart, basically, if the DLL has changed in a mod. And I think we can check that because maybe you just changed some art or whatever and it's fine. And I'd like to, have this happen less if necessary. So let's go back in. So we could record the DLL file size or something like that, and if it changes, then say it's required. We could record that here, basically. I think the sort of easiest first thing to do is just say you need to restart. So when we're in this screen, and the update thing pops up, which is this. Looks nicer now. And you update, it will, it's gonna be like, what? It'll require you to restart if necessary. And probably add a note about it here. Yeah, so I guess we need to add a restart button. And yeah, mods to update from Steam gets saved, and I think yeah, so here when we're finished, if mods weren't updated, we have to restart the game. And this is, oh. Could this be null? No. So then we'll show the restart button instead of the cancel button. And we can add a which is just quit. Cancel quit. Useful for showing a splash screen at the end of the game. Interesting. Yeah. And I guess we can, yeah, so let's add our prefab of the download panel. And change this button to be, or add a new button. This can be in the middle. What's the middle? There? I guess it is. Minus 70, 70. Okay. Quit. Quit game. I guess. And this can go to restart collect. And if we can manage to figure out how to make it actually restart, we can do that, but I don't know that that's going to be feasible. And it will start off. And I think, does this, yeah, these labels are not dynamic. I think that description label might need to be dynamic now. Let's just go with that for now. And then on the main menu, we should see our change. If I just pull it up. got that button. So like at the end, it'll be like these two will be off and this one will be on. Oh, and that says update now. Interesting. I guess we just have to fix this quit game. Don't know why that didn't pick it up from the prefab, maybe because of the copy and paste. And new game screen also has the same thing. Does it have the same problem? No. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I think that basically solves the issue, except for communicating what's going on better there. So, I think we just have the description is fixed on one or the other. So let's see if we can make that more clear. Yeah, so I think on this, I think maybe we just have the description label be populated dynamically. Nah. I guess we can, because we can know if we're in the multiplayer or not. So basically, something like this, and description. I think do we have a description label? We don't. We'll add one. So there, and in the setup game screen, it says this. And we'll just try to make that say something more clear, right? And I'll just note restarting the game may be required. Restarting Sentinels. And here in multiplayer, the main menu is only updates, but multiplayer can have new ones. I guess mods to update. Yeah. We'll add on. Okay. And actually, this call is going to close the game first. This is going to, yeah. basically here we can't. Yeah, I guess we don't even need to call reload mods if like stop here, right? And otherwise we just go back to because this reload finished callback on the main menu does one thing and the other does another thing. If we look at these, it calls back to this, which closes it and refreshes stuff. But basically, if you need to restart the game, you can't continue. But if you are just installing new mods, it should be fine. But if you're updating, it's not okay. And then here, it just closes it, which probably will never happen now. So yeah, so I think just like requiring restart here, and we can add an extra check. Like right now, we're basically, if anything was updated, we're gonna show that. But what we can do is improve the check, so maybe it's not super necessary if the DLL didn't change, I think. So we need to hook up that label first thing. Download panel, just hook up the label here. And make it auto shrink if it's not. Yeah, it is already. So let's just apply. And yeah, we need to like get some updates. I don't know if actually I'm subscribed to any mods right now that would have an update. Let's find out. And if not, I can update my own. And subscribe to it probably somehow. Let's go in from the splash screen. I'm getting errors from a different mod. Oh, that's from my local. It's interesting. So there's Cauldron, which hasn't been updated. So I think I'm not subscribed to anything else. So I need to, I don't know that I can require an update somehow. I want this to go. I guess I could like change my main menu logic here temporarily to just show it anyways. Just like show it with emptiness. Oh, I see that the error was from the save game. The save game has angry taxpayer. Cool. So actually, that's what I want, but I want that label to be better. So let's fix that. It needs to be able to handle a little more. Oh, yeah. Editing prefabs in NGUI is more annoying. You have to like instantiate them and edit them and apply and go back. You can't just go hop into the prefab. Get really spoiled by that now. So description label, yeah, have a little bit of, this should be inside the tape just to make it easier, I think. And I guess I don't have to do that. I can just hook it up. Hook it up to the tape and have some padding so we don't go too close to the bottom edge or top edge. And yeah, maybe less line spacing. It seems to be too close together. All right, let's try that. Yeah, cool. Maybe we can adjust this text so it's only 2 lines. Just do this. Get rid of the stay fresh. Yeah, that's better. And all right, so let's take out my testing code here. And here we are showing it all the time by testing. Let's just test it in the multiplayer screen too. Hard to give it a full test here, but we can. If we go create a game, we should get pop up with what I just did here. Yeah. Then it could also say, we can just add that string on and see what it looks like. This will make it go to 3 lines, but yeah. Oh. Go to the end. Sure. I think that's fine. Okay. So we don't actually want that to be the logic. Where do we go? All right, so what we did here is we added the description, or hooked up the description label and added that restart button and then updated the thing. Okay, so Add restart button to mod download panel if restarting the game is necessary. It's unfortunate, but better than people having like glitches and stuff, right? So, and maybe we can find out a way to unload stuff properly. But yeah, so we can add in here a check to see, well, potentially if the DLL size changed by like remembering the previous DLL sizes here, and then yeah, that's one way we could do it. So basically, because the mod manifest has the DLL path, right? And we can just get the file size of it. Or we can get the file size of it. So we could have something like previous DLL paths or something like that. Or DLL sizes. So something like a dictionary of string and int or long. Previous DLL sizes. Record the DLL file sizes to see if we need to actually restart. And this is space, I think. We can just basically go what do we do for load DLL? Just add a get DLL file size. File dot get attributes. C# get file size. File info. Length is a long. Sure. Will this throw an exception if it's not there? Basically. return 0. 0 is fine. And so this is actually a long. Oh yeah, we need to get the, I guess we have the full path from the mod. Right? Long. In your manifest, the DLL, it has .dll, right? Yeah. Okay. So we are getting the mod's path, getting the DLL file size. And then in load mods, we can look up and see, or we can, like, I guess basically say, have mods DLLs changed. Right, I guess we want loaded mods. I guess we need to check if maybe it failed to load, right? And I think if it failed to load, we need to say that things changed. Maybe. Maybe not. I guess, yeah, because then, like, multiplayer wouldn't work and stuff. We can still say restart required. So where are we getting the size? This. So basically, new size is get DLL file size, and if kpp.value is not the same as new size, return true, something changed. DL size changed, or mod failed to load. Cool. So default we say no, but if any mod that's loaded has a different DLL file size, we'll say yes. And there are cases where things will slip through here, but like you could have the exact same file size on the DLL, but that's pretty unlikely. And worst case, you restart and it's okay. Any notable change to your DLL will make a different file size. So. And if you update your DLLs again or update your mods again for some reason in one session, it will like reset this and look again. So all right, so back in the download panel, so instead of just checking to see if there are any mods to update, we can say if there's any mods to update and mod manager have mod DLLs changed. I think is fair to say. And cool. So I don't have a quick way to test this, but just make sure everything compiles first. Okay, that's fine. That's just the save file. All right, so I'm going to commit this, which is improve mod update, improve restart check to see if mod DLL file size is changed. So then if you just change like an art file, it's fine. So what I want to do is, I guess if I subscribe to my own mod and update it and then remove it locally, I should get the update. Or I should get the update anyways. I haven't actually tried that. So let's push this up and let's try updating our mod. So first let's just change like whatever, right? Like do that. And go to our thing, upload to workshop. Oh, right. I think I was messing around with the namespace for another thing, and I think it's correct, though. We need to update the version number. All right, so first I want to actually subscribe to our own mod. Sentinels, workshop, items. Oh, right, I like overrode it. I like basically like screwed it up. This is the old one, I think. I like overrode it with a different thing. This is the original one. So let's subscribe. And that downloaded. And yeah, so I like overwrote it with a different file as a testing thing. And there's a warning about changing the namespace, because like basically when we change the namespace, I wanted to make sure that it and then this is getting jammed here, so I wonder, let's just, while we're in here, let's try to fix that. That title should not, and maybe we'll make this the bold. Preferred height 0. No, preferred height, it should be whatever the height should be. I think this had a layout element, yeah, so it didn't get. Is that 60? That seems like big. I guess it's just going to be bigger until it squishes down. So let's try just making this a little bit bigger. Okay. That looks a little better. All right, update item. Okay. Actually, I wonder if I go back to the main menu here, is it going to pop that up? Probably, I guess not. Right, because it's not. It doesn't actually load the one from Steam while I have the local version. I think. Maybe it will if I restart. No. So if I take away the local version, go in there. I don't get an update notification from Steam, but that might be because the game is still running. I have to quit Unity. Let's go and check this. Yeah, we got our new update here. And that should have should have a different DLL as well. So we should get the update check or the restart required pop up. So let's go back into Sentinels. And we have audio. So we don't have a pop-up. And Steam still didn't update that. That's interesting. Get query tag returned false. Interesting. Why? This is where we're checking version 4. I guess. Do like and file ID. So we're checking the query information and it's returning false. for that. What would that mean? False means the handle is invalid, the index is out of bounds, or the key value tag index is out of bounds. But that's actually not the call. I'm calling a different version that lets me pass the... And if I go to that thing on here... Oh, there is no version tag. How is there no version tag? Also, why are these in weird cases? Is it because I added a new one that's game version and that's like conflicting with it somehow? That would be annoying. Weird. Like, that is literally not... Like, I'm not passing an uppercase G to that. Did I ruin things by putting this extra thing? What do other people's have that they've updated? If they've updated them since. They've got namespace inversion. This one has namespace inversion. I don't actually think I've posted this up yet. I think that might be why no one else. I think this update with the new key value pairs has not been posted. But this uploaded and did not send the version. If I revert back, oh, it didn't actually revert. I'll revert back to, I guess I updated a couple times. I guess I did remember doing that. This one also, what? I guess I need to accept an update. Oh, these are, yeah. What? Go back to this version. What the heck? I don't know what's happening. Why? This, like, I've accepted this. Why is this popping up? Does the revert functionality just not work? I never actually tried it. Okay, this feels weird. I don't understand why the version tag is not getting posted up here. The only thing I can think of is because I added those new tags and they're interfering with it somehow, which seems dumb. Let's try to post an update to it again. this, please. Version 0.6. Yeah, the only error was, again, related to the query. Updated. Okay. Yeah, literally that other tag is not working. So I guess we're not going to do that. Oh, that's because my code removed the, whoops. I must have screwed up and stopped uploading the version key. That would be why. Good thing I didn't publish that. And should be... That must have been a mix-up in that commit when I added that. Yeah, that was a screw up. Well, good thing we found that before I sent it up, and people would have been like, why are updates not working at all? That would be why. All right, upload to workshop. Then we should have our tags. Hey, okay. I don't know why game version is getting capitalized. That is very weird. Hopefully it doesn't matter. So now that I have a update, I can make another copy of this and change the version number. And try to trigger a Steam mod update check, which was failing because the version was not there at all. Okay, so now let's move this out. Can we not move to the other folder? That would be really lovely. Okay. Hey, that's the thing. Okay. This is what we want to happen. And maybe we'll just add a quick log in here to say what our DLL size stuff is doing. And we have that and that and new size. And maybe in the previous place where we record the size, actually this check is too late, isn't it? Because we need to check this before we start updating. We need to add a new method for this instead of doing it here, I'm pretty sure. Because if we do it here, we've already downloaded the other files. It's too late. So let's add a record DLL sizes. This doesn't need to say mod. To have DLLs changed. After updating. Okay, so then we're gonna have DLLs changed. Before we, when we go to start updating, download clicked, record current DLL sizes to see if restart is required later. Okay, and then in that we can just log like recording. Log for amped. Just for my benefit here to make sure that things are working the way I expect. All right, so right, that's gonna check it on when I click download items, and then we'll do the download and we'll see if it should not tell us that we need to restart, basically. I didn't see that call. Did I forget to save maybe? Record DLL sizes, record DLL sizes. Don't think so. I wonder if, does this unload all the mods first? I don't think no. I don't think so. We're gonna have to upload the mod again with a change now. Okay, so we have to put this back. Get rid of our bonus foo folders. Change the version. Away. Probably like make a shell script to help with that. actually want like this to just call this. I just want to see that this is being called and recording the information. All right, recording DLL size equals 0. So that's not quite right. It looks like the key is the full path, which isn't what I was super expecting. Yeah, let's do. I guess it's basically like we can go by file ID, I guess. File ID or by namespace. I mean, they should be unique, but this namespace is okay. Let's just do this. Let's, I guess, log this, I guess, because clearly it's not. Doing the right thing. And then the other place needs to know that this is happening from line mod, burning space. Yeah. Let's go off namespace, it'll be easier. Twitch. This is why we gotta be test and not just publish stuff out, because get things wrong. Oh, yeah. It's adding on the DLL path. I guess this mod.fullPath is including the DLL. I don't think that was intended. The mod full path should be unless the yeah, that's oh. They're both adding the DLL. Right. This should not be passing this here. This should be passing root folder. Maybe? No, just like nothing, right? The mod knows its own path. I think this is sort of a outlier, because when we create the manifest, we already send that in. So actually, we don't need this. Because we already have our path from our constructor. I think it's just too much stuff going on there that wasn't necessary. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. Hey, recording sizes that aren't 0. Good. Okay. So uncomment out everything. Then, just as a sanity check, have DLLs changed is... Hi. Okay. More coffee. Third coffee of the day. Thank you. Fresh coffee. So we find the mod and get its file size. No more messing around with too many parameters. So let's run this, and this shouldn't require restart because we did not change the DLL. And let's click it. Hey, perfect. All right, so now we want to test changing the DLL and make sure that it prompts the restart. So let's put our sample mod back, and let's change the DLL by doing something in my mod. Let's change noisy crickets in caps to do something. I'm sure that will change it enough. Or does wayward bunker? Wayward bunker also has the same problem. So let's go to our deck list for promo cards. And I'm just going to copy them from microencoder. Like that. And then we'll just copy the code from microencoder as well. Like that? Yeah. All right, we built our DLL. It's going to go from, it's probably going to be still 56 KB, but maybe it should be different exact number of bytes. Projects. My mod, bin, debug. My mod. 58 kilobytes, it's definitely different. And let's change the manifest. Change the version number. And upload it. All right. And let's get the update by moving this out. Not so bad. A couple extra steps. So we get the update required, and we're going to click download, so we'll see what it does. Recording the DLL size, and did not do what I wanted. The size did change. So why did you do wrong? Return true. Oh. Else. Yeah, it just like did that and then carried on to here, which we didn't want. We don't want to reload the model. We want it to force you to restart the game, which is what it's going to do. And let's just make sure that the cancel button is off here too, because it could still be on, I think, in some cases. All right. I wonder if we can, if we revert our mod now on to this previous version and start, will it like download? It is not downloading. This revert on Steam doesn't seem to do anything, so. All right, let's make more, we'll continue making changes in our mod that we want, the changes that we want to be there. And then testing at every phase. So let's just put these in capabilities on Noisy Cricket as well. As well as the deck list. This. And build it. Copy the DLL. Go back to 0.1. And put this in mods. Hopefully, this is the last cycle for this. All right. That and move it out and run again to get the update from Steam. Okay. Recorded our DLL size. Hey, look, quit game. All right. And that won't do anything in the editor, but we'll have to ultimately test that in on the Steam build. All right, so Not the ideal solution, but that's a little bit of an improvement, I think. So in the download panel, we're recording the DLL sizes, and these are all the same. It's just doing a weird diff. Maybe it will tidy up if I stage it. Not always, it doesn't. And then we check to see if the DLL's changed. And we add a restart collect. I guess that was there before. Yeah, I guess this is restore version key value tag. We have the logic to get the DLL sizes. I guess I had this in here and then changed it from the last commit. Cool. So check updated mod DLL sizes in case restart is not required. Okay. All right, so that is done. In the next update, whenever mods update and have a new DLL, restarting Sentinels will be required. Because unloading does not work. All right. That was not the ideal fix, but not the end of the world. Yeah, why don't we finish? There's a couple of visual polish items on the download panel there. I noticed that there's like a flicker when it first started. So let's trigger an update here again. So what else are we going to change? Baron Jeremy. I don't know. I guess we don't have to trigger a DLL update. We can just do something else. Trigger any old update. So let's go to this and bump the version. That honestly is enough to trigger an update. But just in case, we'll make some file changes. Let's do this so we can get that panel to pop up and easier to cycle on it when it's got something live in it. Okay, and move this out. And we should get our update. Yeah, I don't know if you could see there's like a flicker there. And I'm not sure what is causing that. So let's go into that and see. All right, let's just close to the right. And mod download item. Right, so because it's on Steam, that's why we get a little bit of that flicker. Honestly, I'd rather it just be, I don't know if I want to be blank. It's there for like literally a frame, so it's not great. It might be if I can go to it this way. I don't know if I need to go to the splash screen. Yeah. So it pops up and this says loading and this is blank. Um, we could show... I mean, we know that it could be the status label, I think is okay. Like that. I think actually though, what I want is just to have it be not showing up. Interesting. I kind of wanted to color it and everything too, but we don't not have the mod information at all. If I go to this thing, where are scroll? I guess it's in the scroll, isn't it? Mod grid. Zoom, zoom, zoom. If I like have it turned off. I mean, in theory, it might take a long time to load. I just don't want that flickering. What if we do like this? I think that's gonna look better. Yeah, I think I like that better. So let's update this little square. Yeah, I think this could go to 3 lines. Yeah, 3 lines is okay. Update required, and when it starts downloading, we actually see the amount of text in the status label changes and it fits to the top. So even though that it'll changes to like downloading, right? Or whatever. Yeah, show status. So I think we're okay with how that looks. So I guess the one thing I want is potentially to have the background color of these match, if it's an update, match the mod background color. Because this gets called with identifiers. And we could look in our mod manager just to try to find the string. I don't know why we only have strings here. I guess because of multiplayer, right? We might only have strings. So we can, like, if we go mod manager, find mod or instance, find mod with identifier. You can at least like try to set the background color and stuff. I guess mod.color is a color. Let's see. And background sprite is the whole thing. I think that's okay. Cool. And yeah, we need to get the text color. Actually, I'm gonna put this on the mod manifest. And we can potentially make that something you could specify in your manifest if you want, but who knows? Probably not. Then this can just be mod dot text color. And this other place that does the same thing. This can set title label. And then at least when you're updating mods, you get that little burst of color on here, which is nice. And just a little bit of flair. All right. Downloading. Download it. Cool. All right, we don't want to change the scene here. Cool. I think that's just a little bit of extra adjustments. That I think make that done. And I think the workshop screen is, well, is it done enough? Let's see. Yeah, the main thing I don't like about this is this text being just like this. There's another idea we had of having like a more visual thing here, but I don't know that we're gonna like change the scope to deal with that. So maybe we just improve the display of these labels. Yeah, probably. We'll consider that. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll return shortly. And we'll look at something else. BRB. It worked. I have returned. All right. Okay, so yeah, let's go into a skyscraper variant now because we were just doing all UI stuff. Let's jump into something different for the last bit of the stream, I think. And that's part of improving the sample project. So, all right, so let's go to my mod here and just commit these things, which is improve in-cap abilities for variants. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get through this because I don't know how much of a problem it will be, but we can try it out and see. So let's go switch gears and make a variant of skyscraper. So let's make a new instance. I'm just going to copy like extremist, basically. We want to close everything but this. And here's our new instance. Wrong project. And we want Sentinels engine. All right, so skyscraper deck list. here. And these are her cards. Promo cards. So I think actually I can just grab this array and copy it into here. Maybe after the Sentinels here, the Serpentinels, and Skyscraper. So Skyscraper, normal character. What is our variant of Skyscraper going to be? I have no idea. One who is even more extreme or one who is even less extreme? The centrist. Skyscraper. Her power is compromise. Sure. She gets it a little bit bigger and a little bit smaller. So with Skyscraper, we have this idea of a shared identifier that all of the cards have the same shared identifier that lets the game know that they are to be considered the same character card for like things being next to them or things like that. And so they need to have a shared identifier for that reason. All right. So instead of improvise, it's compromise. And we'll say she's a centrist Skyscraper. All of her cards. Her power can just be like her base power, but drawing more cards. And she could have different hit points. Maybe she has less hit points. She's not as extreme. 30 hit points on each card. Those have to be the same. And yeah, in caps, I'm just gonna like do the same thing and copy all the in caps. They'll all be the same, but they can be different, but this just saves me some work. Same in caps for all cards. Let's just give her a default opening line. Can't we all just get along? It's a bit of a not a good line for this. Meet me in the middle here. All right, that's good for that. And tiny version, slightly smaller. I don't know. Should have her do interesting things, I guess. I kind of feel like just basing it off to her normal powers to begin with. But like one more or whatever. Let's just do that, just like we have our other variants. Play up to 3 link cards. Just switch these numbers around. And her icons, we'll copy those. And then for huge, make this 1 and 1. We can just go deals each target 1 sonic damage. Because it's the same thing. I guess order is different, but that's fine. Slightly bigger. All right, so slight adjustments, but that's fine. So now we need to add code. So let's create a folder called Skyscraper. And we'll add a new class, which is going to be the normal card. Character card controller. And each one needs a class, as usual. Tiny. And huge. Okay. So, and then we need to set these up as you do. So the namespace is already right. We need to have some usings. We need to add this. Need to add the constructor. We may as well add the in cap. That's all the same. And we'll add the use power. And then we'll change it. So it happens to be the same. Oh, and actually, this needs to use a get power numeral, doesn't it? If we look at, that's a bug in the wavered bunker, isn't it? Migrant coder, yeah. Get power numeral. Numeral index, expected value 2. Gotta be doing that, or guys copying your power with applied numerology won't work right. Bug report. Oh, that one isn't using that. This one is draw 3 cards. Tiny power is this, which we're going to copy from the real skyscraper. Oh wow, that's a lot. It's a lot. That's a lot. Consider if it's under Clinch's guise. Oh my gosh. Alright, I don't want to do such complicated stuff in my variant. The huge one's gonna be easy. Just deal some damage. It's each target 1 damage. Like this. all targets. That's it for that. That's pretty easy. Yeah, something different for tiny because that's a lot of code. Let's just copy maybe Omnitron's power. Yeah. That's pretty straightforward. So reveal the top card of a deck, put it into play or into the trash. Let's add link. So you have to choose a deck. And we can make it more interesting. Well, no, making it more interesting makes it harder because you have to like then loop over the number of things for applied numerology. If you put a 1 here instead of a, ugh. Then we call reveal card player discard it. So that seems fine. We're just copying Omnitron. And we'll copy his icons. 2. Let's just manipulate. Okay. That seems fine. All right, so we made our promo, our variants. We implemented them. Everything compiles. So let's try making a test. Make a new test for skyscraper. And skyscraper should be workshopping.skyscraper normal character, but centrist skyscraper normal character. And skyscraper. And then we can do our asserts, which is like sky. Skyscraper's character card controller should be a skyscraper centrist skyscraper normal. Her hit points should be 30. And then we'll check other things. All right, so let's build that. Just make sure this basic stuff works. One thing I don't know is how is it going to know just where the other variant cards come from. I think that's something that is hard-coded in the game with the extremist. So let's go to play card phase. Quick hand check sky. Use power sky. Oh, quick hand storage, sorry. Normal power draws 3. Cool. Go huge. We can play card the Rathian Monolith or something, or any other. And then we can check to make sure that she is a huge character, which I don't think she will be because I don't know that it knows how to do that. Maybe it does. It's just string replacement. No. It made her into a regular one. So actually up here we can add some asserts. Huge and tiny should be off to the side. So we can say assert off to the side. I think assert are equal. There should be 2 cards off to the side. Which we can do a quick check. Insert off to the side. What are the versions of this? Yeah. Is there a sky tiny equals get card skyscraper tiny character card controller, or sorry, tiny character that should work. Let's just check that doesn't. Even if it's off to the side, we should be able to get it. Get card controller tiny, and then we can assert the instance of that here. Yeah, and again, that is wrong. So we can also assert this card is off to the side, just to be sure. So what is controlling that? Extremist. Huge. Tests. The character card controllers themselves don't know about it, but game controller does. This is doing a check here for skyscraper huge and skyscraper tiny. Okay. But somewhere the game knows that it should be using where's our test for, maybe we do have to pass it in the promo. Skyscraper test. We search for this. Is this being passed in the tests? Use extremist true. It only sends in normal. Okay. I gotta be right back. Take a quick break again. All right, I'm back. Okay. So let's follow this path and find out what trickery is going on with Skyscraper. Because I'm sure it's trickery because we never had to do it more than once. So when we make a new game, we send in the promo identifiers. And these go into this is handling the Sentinels. We call it create turn taker. And we create instance. Right. And show shared identifier. This is what's happening with Skyscraper. But it's only looking in the deck definition. It's not looking in mods. And so I think instead of doing this, well, yeah, we're doing this before, which is interesting. And then we're adding them in sort of automatically, helpfully. And then we end up creating, the base uses the promos, and this is what gets the mod ones, right? Yeah, we can look for mod promos. And yeah, so what's happening is this code here looks to see if there's promos in the deck to begin with and tries to find any that match the shared identifier, which works fine for Skyscraper herself because she just has she could have multiple variants, but because they all share extremist Skyscraper character that way. That's what is happening here. And I don't know that anything else uses that shared identifier the same way. I don't think so. The thing is, this obviously works for non-mods. Just wondering if we can check for, like, basically go here and then ask the mod helper about that. Because the mod helper will know about the other variants by this point. Just close these, we don't need them. Mod helper. We can add something that lets us get, or we could include in the card definition, like what, like right now we're just like not giving access to the full promo cache, but we could provide access to the engine here for that. Just thinking about that. So this is finding it there, and we might actually check. Like basically check for shared identifiers or promos with mods. So if I guess it doesn't need to be, yeah, it could be if the promo card, right? What is this? Just wondering if we want to do this here or do it later. Because we can move this up here. Never use this actual identifier, I guess. So if space, it doesn't need to be, yeah, this is the turn take. The turn taker is not a mod, but the promo is. So if the character promo identifiers have a dot in them, they're mod content. Then we want to look basically for this kind of thing too. Mod helper. We can try to get shared identifiers. Those are actually not identifiers, those are definitions. It's not a good variable name. This can be any. I guess these can just be, these actually could be identifiers if the select is moved up, wouldn't it be? Basically, we can just sort of do the same thing. Oh yeah, we have promo identifier and character promo identifiers. Yeah. Right, so actually we want if promo identifier is not null, yeah, we don't actually want it in the character promos. Skyscraper mod variant. Mod helper get promo definition, right? And then we can ask mod helper to get the other ones. We don't have like public access for that, no. So let's add a thing here. Just like find the other ones that go with it, right? Which is basically promo cache values dot where that, like, that's it, right? And we just kind of do this, follow the same logic. Get shared promo definitions, promo definition. I guess we can do a null check. If there are any, I guess we do a dot select here as well. I guess we want qualified promo identifier, definitely. These don't have to be qualified because this is all like, I think, within non-mod stuff. I mean, maybe they do. I could be wrong there. Like a mod of a mod character like Skyscraper, maybe. Yeah. And we can just copy this logic down here and maybe clean it up in a second. If we do this, yeah, because this is just a list. It's not actually like a dictionary. And then later on it looks up things. So let's try this. This is pointing to a different DLL, so it's not going to work. I mean, I could put my variant of Skyscraper in here too. Or just point this to a different version of the engine. Oh, I guess the engine is going to the debug version. Okay, so we can actually build a debug version. And get a different output for here. We need to rebuild. Let's just see if mod helper dot. Yeah, this didn't update, did it? This might have the wrong reference. No, that's going to there. Oh, right. Debug Mac. that. Yeah, now it noticed. Hey! We got our character cards. How we expected. And we can maybe add these checks in too, just to be complete. Let's add a quick HP check to quick HP storage, that is. To mobile defense platform and Sky character card. Use power, Sky, quick HP check. -1. Is that? Oh, that's card controller. That card. Cool. That does those things. And I'm just going to assume Tiny works because there's no reason why Tiny wouldn't also work. All right, so that is something. Let's go and make sure we didn't break the world doing this in the engine. And what other things are we searching for? Like extremist, right? I guess we have a list where I did a search before, which was completionist guys, character card controller. Has some assumptions. This is still gonna work because it's still skyscraper, but it doesn't work because it's looking specifically for extremist skyscraper. Obviously we can't add a case for every thing. How would this even get into this case? Oh, I guess it says 4 Rivers of Earth. So if it's not a hero, if it's the environment, I guess. So yeah, so this stuff isn't going to work properly. And representative of Earth also has some specific stuff for skyscraper. I mean, we could make this work specifically for variants of skyscraper. But I wonder if we can make it work for all heroes that work like skyscraper does. I think that's the goal, right? So instead of this checking for like these things, we need some way to like know that what's going on. So yeah, some refactoring necessary around here. I think that can be for later. I think it's definitely going to need to be dealt with, though. So I'm going to note that here, that these things need to be taken care of here and not just sort of general purpose things, but just for supporting these variants, those are going to need to be fixed. And then there's going to be stuff in the UI. So we hit a test failure just of, I'm sure that's just a flaky test, but generally things seem to be okay. Yeah, one failed, and we could rerun it and probably be fine. Cool, so let's build a release build, and we should be able to try out our mod in the game, and I'm sure it's not going to work because the UI has a bunch of assumptions too. So my mod, and we need to put this back. Oh, not there, but here. And the manifest needs to say skyscraper. And I don't, unlike the Sentinels I think need to indicate all of their individual characters here. But I don't, because skyscraper you can't mix and match, like that's the rule for her. So I think we only put in this. Promo identifier. And let's see. So I'm actually going to turn off, oops, edit project settings, player, turn off the Steam integration. So it's only going to have my one mod and not loading up the cauldron and other stuff. All right, so it loaded, including a test game with skyscraper. So if we go to show all content, variants, we see actually it shows all three of them like that. Interesting. I mean, they're there. So if we go, let's just go main menu. I think we can even just go into setup game, right? If we're loading on demand. And heroes, right. Oh, skyscraper is not even here. There's an exception, null reference exception. Okay, let's try just going from the main menu just in case there's something funny here. New game. Yeah, maybe there was something funny. But actually we're not getting... Oh, skyscraper is not from from Vengeance, right? She's from Wrath of the Cosmos. So let's turn off all these and put Wrath of the Cosmos. There's skyscraper. Variant, variant. I mean, that seems to be working. We're getting this unload asset thing that I need to continue to fix up. But then if I click that, it goes to extremist. So that's not ideal. If I use that, I'm just curious if this is going to work. We have centrist, centrist, centrist. Okay. I don't know that it's going to know about like cutouts and stuff. That's another thing. If we like go huge. Oh yeah, it changed the cutout. That all worked. But the new game screen didn't know about things properly there. But that's pretty encouraging. So I think I probably noted some of that when I was looking at that. Those assumptions. Yeah, maybe in full card panel here. Maybe the deck browser. And there's stuff in the end game and other things. So, okay. So there's a few things to look at here. But the initial functionality surprisingly works. Let's look at, I think the full card panel is probably where that issue is with Skyscraper. If it's Skyscraper... Oh, okay, so in the multiverse we show them on the list, so that's expected actually. Interesting. Does Skyscraper know? Skyscraper variant handling is more weird. Yeah, so here, that's why it's showing the wrong thing, because it doesn't know that it could be a mod here. It is tricksy. And it's like, is the next card not a promo card? Is yeah, that's why that thing is showing up. It's not a huge issue. Obviously, we want it to work right, but it's not breaking necessarily. Yeah, so I think I want to commit what I have, because I think it is sensible. So actually, let's go back to the engine and make sure to document that new method on mod helper. Find any promo definitions that have the same shared identifier as the given definition used for Skyscraper variants. The promo definition from yeah, that's it. Okay. Returns any promo, any matching. make sure to populate that too. Make sure that is built, and yeah, there's a change coming in there. Yeah, so basically what we did was we changed turn taker factory to right, and actually I wanted to tidy that up a little bit, didn't I? Because like we're sort of duplicating this logic. So what we can do is make like a variable, I think. It's not like the end of the world to leave it like this. I think we'll just leave it like this. So let's just basically add this comment as the git commit. And merge in those changes. And this doesn't change anything that's API breaking or anything like that. So that is good. And yeah, the UI will have a DL update in my mod here. We're going to say we are add a variant of skyscraper and use power numeral properly. Cool. I can push those up. They won't work necessarily in your game right now, but they're there as a sample. And this update that supports them at least roughly will be available. I think we'll get a build together there's a lot that hasn't been published up yet in the done list here. So yeah, so there's a sample. We have, I guess, support in the engine roughly. So yeah, there's new game full card panel is not correct. I'm just going to check the basic support and we need to update documentation to say like how do you specify your variant, which is mainly like shared identifier and stuff. Yeah, these are like tricky. So let's see if we can fix up a couple of UI things today, and we'll get to the other things later. There might be more that we need to do. Because I would like that support to not be necessarily just for Skyscraper, but to be more to also support other heroes that have similar kind of character card swapping mechanism. Without breaking the way the game works already, right? So in the UI, let's go and open that up. So the issue we're seeing in the UI, I think we can go right to the new game screen. Compiler error. Looks like there is a change that is broken. Looks like something broke. See if Jean-Marc can help with that, because that is not good to have an error that we can't proceed. fix that, and we can take a look at this at least in the meantime. So I think it's this code that is giving us trouble here. Maybe we'll throw a little logging in here to see what's going on. And let's throw in the qualified perm identifier there. Okay. Waiting for that commit. Just press enter here when it's ready. Yeah, so assuming it's in here, I guess we can look in this file and see if anything else mentions skyscraper. This is, I mean, this is going to work because it's literally skyscraper that we're worried about here. I guess your variant might, no, I guess the identifier would be still type skyscraper, so from identifier that would be different. I'm wondering if the, like if shared identifier is used anywhere else. I think it is for boss. Maybe. Yeah, Oblivion's character cards is the only other place that it's used, though. So I wonder if we just say if there's a shared identifier and it's not Oblivion, then we can show the button. I think that's probably a reasonable change. There's a different button for Oblivion. So basically, if it's and card shown dot shared identifier is not null, and the identifier is not Oblivion character. Sky, look for Sky. Looks like that is fixed. And let's see if we are where we think we are in terms of So if we pull this up and change variance, oh, null reference. Okay. Gotta restart after that. So if I go to, oh. Why, this was working before. What's the null reference? And we can avoid the null reference here and log something else maybe. Like literally the card that we're looking at is not in there. I think this is where it's freaking out. No. Oh. The variance list is null. Which is weird. Might be something to do with running this directly, I think. Actually. So maybe we'll run it from the main menu instead. We're getting some other warnings about. Oh, here's a null reference here. Yeah, so, okay, so there's some funkiness going on from running this screen. So let's go to the main menu, and see if things are okay from there. Yeah, no errors there. All right, there's our Centris skyscraper. And if we click this, show alternate card, yeah, it's getting the wrong card here. So, all right, yeah, I guess it's loading it from the scene directly is causing issues, which is fair. Let's keep this stuff in here. So it's this method here. So yeah. So here it's like if we're showing a promo card and the next one isn't a promo card, then find the promo card. That's why it's showing the wrong one. So we need to actually look at mod variants instead. So if card shown is promo card or is mod content, then we need to go mod helper find or get shared promo definitions, right? Yeah. With the card shown definition. I think that might be it. So let's see. Okay, let's try this. Hey, look, it's the right card. So basically what we did was just change the list of where we're getting the cards from. Oh, and that closed it? I must have clicked off or something. Oh yeah, there's some point where it stops working. If you get to tiny, if you get to tiny, it's stopping working. It does work for a little while, but if we switch to tiny and change variants, then it stops working. I think that bug exists already, probably. Basically by like going to tiny here and clicking variants and clicking that, maybe. Well, it's not the end of the world. It's just weird that I think it just like decides that we're not going to show the button anymore. The logic about the next alternate card might be, yeah, if the next card is promo card, yeah, this might be an assumption that there's only one variant as well. I think that's what this is. Yeah, actually, I think that's what's happening, right? If let's restart this. If we switch here and we get here, we set variant index to 1. Oh yeah, I clicked variants again and it didn't go to the next card, right? Because I think it resets it at some point. I have to go into it from there. If I go into it from extremist, there's somewhere that is assuming that Yeah, I think it must be in the toggle variant. Show next variant. Yeah. Here's more skyscraper logic. Again, it's like creating it from the deck and not looking for mods. That's what's going on here. So, we have to kind of put the same logic in it, right? I think probably similar here. We need to do if card to show is mod content. And we have an mod helper get shared promo definitions for card to show card definition or definition. Otherwise, this. And then use the same logic. Tricky stuff. So it was basically if we were here and we went here and clicked variants. Cool. Variants, variants, switch to tiny, variants, tiny, tiny. Huge. Oh, and then here we stop. This should be showing normal, and it is in the background. I click it again, and it gets there. So there's something not exactly right there, but it's closer. We should also check to see once you drag it down, because that's a slightly different behavior. So go here and we change variant. It's showing up right there. We change variant, it's showing up right there. Tiny, and click variant. That's where we're getting it. It's saying that it's supposed to be changing it, but instead it shows the variant still. So there's something wrong there still. But I'm more happy with it now. I think I want to commit what I've got on it at least. So in Sentinels engine, sorry, Sentinels UI, we wanted to update the DLL with that fix, because the previous one broke the game. And improvements for our improved handling of skyscraper variant on new game screen. Okay, so we can try to fix that one last thing. Try to get a quicker reproduce of it. So basically we need to change this. Like this works fine if you go through, but if I change it to another card and click variants, I don't get, I call this the card that it wants to show. It says that it's, yeah, okay. But the variant index should be 2. The variant index should be going back to 0. Shouldn't it? I mean, that's the current variant index. I think this is because of that other thing that's setting it to 1. This. Yeah, I think that is what's going on here. Because this call is probably resetting the variant index on us, and that's why. What if we like try to preserve it here? Something like that. That might be what we need to do instead of just forcing it to 1. Yeah. That does the trick. Cool. And other things work as expected. All right. Another fix for a new game. Skyscraper variant. All right. So that is acceptable. That's that. There might be more things to deal with, but I think that's probably coming to the end of today. There's going to be more, I think, to do with this potentially next week or ahead of next week, but it should be roughly working. So if you want to make a skyscraper variant, you can do that now, and it will work. I'll add the documentation before we ship out so that at least you can know the initial stuff to do, and there might be some more changes based on these other things, but the initial support should work. Cool. So that is going to be it for today, I think. We should get an update of Sentinels to the mods branch pretty soon, and we'll let you know on the usual places when we do. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.